Welcome to Sunday edition of Talking Horses. Greg Wolf, Anthony Stabiles. We close out the week, actually close out the year for me. This is my last Talking Horses, my last show as well of 2022.
Yeah, America's Day at the Races. You'll catch the last chance to catch Mr. Wolf today. It's been fun. We got to work a lot together this year.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Got to do some harness action together, a little Meadowlands pace.
Fun.
It was.
We had to deal with the bugs.
We had to deal with the 17 different variety of bugs on the Saratoga set, which I didn't even know the 17 bugs existed. But we've had a fun year. We got to work together a little bit more, got a little friendlier. Yeah, it's been a fun year. Have a great time on vacation. Have a great holiday.
Thank you.
Let's try and send them home happy. We want to try and send them home happy, Greg. There's a carryover of over 38,000 in the pick six today. I just did the changes. There's literally a multi-race wager in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth to play.
Okay.
And if you're really desperate by the seventh, you can just play the final pick three of the afternoon as well.
All right, good luck, everybody. Let's go through all the business first. We'll get into this card. I actually really like a couple of horses today, so I'm excited about this card.
Excellent.
We'll kick things off with how you play. If you want to get signed up started, of course.
We even decided to match today on Greg's last day of the year.
Yeah, how about that? Very solid.
We look like a 10. We look like a 10 walking down the hall today.
$200 deposit match sign-up bonus when you play with Nauer Bets. Promo code to use, match 200. And no reason not to get signed up now if you've not already. Go to NauerBets.com. Take advantage of all those great promotions we have as well. And we'll talk about one of them in a moment. There's the big pick six that starts in race 4.
Yeah.
Do you have a couple keys for us today?
30. I don't know if I have a couple. This is a tough card. It's a fun card today.
Is.
Yeah, it's a tough way to end the week, and it's a tough way to deal with this carryover. But there is a carryover nonetheless, over 38,000. Head on over to Nauer Bets to get involved this afternoon.
Middle pick 4.
Race 3 on a 9-race card.
There's also a pick 4 in race 2, by the way.
Yep, races 2, 3, and 6 feature our pick 4s today. Yeah.
All right, so there we go. We got 3 of them, but that middle pick 4, new.
Just so you know, there'll be a 8-race card on Thursday. We will not have a middle pick 4 on those cards.
Okay.
So don't be confused if you're looking for it, folks. On Thursday, there won't be a middle pick 4 on the 8-race cards, but we have one today. Pick 4 starting races 2, 3, and 6.
I used to razz my friend. We'd play golf together. I'd razz him. We play a course, and I go, you wouldn't like it. It's a shot maker's course. But you could say that to your friends, handicapping too. You wouldn't like today's card. It's a true handicapper's card.
I have a great golf horse racing story we'll tell in a minute.
$3,000 trifecta hit and split. That is in today's third. So you hit that trifecta, you will split with all the winning tickets, that $3,000 pot in addition to your winning ticket.
And you heard what Greg said, dollars, not points. This is points nonsense. This is actual shkarol, cash, clams, as you would say, as the big Lebowski, as Mort Lebowski like to call them.
Got to opt in, though. Don't forget to do that. So opt in for that promotion. Take a swing of that trifecta in race 3 today. I took advantage of it last week.
Very good.
Got a few extra dollars in the account.
I've taken advantage of the pick 5 promotions we do during the summer. I got back like $47 once.
Nice.
It's pretty good. It's free money, man.
And we are on today. We start on FS1 actually at 2:30 Eastern time. We're on FS1 2:30 to 4:30, and then we pick up on FS2 beginning at 4:30.
Real quick, yeah. So do you want to tune in? Greg's last show of the year. Should be a fun day with a little Oaklawn coverage wrapping up their opening weekend as well. Tell the quick story. It's a Friday afternoon, back in my New York Post days. April. Some of the jocks and trainers just started coming back from Florida. I was with a good friend of mine named Ariel Schwedel, who we play. I still friends to this day. One of my first friends at the New York Post. Went to a course called Lotterette in Staten Island. I liked 3 horses on the 9-race card on Friday. Sent my dad here with I don't know why I didn't play through my Naira Rewards back then. But I sent my dad here with some money to bet on 3 horses. In the New York Post, I picked the other 6 winners, and the 3 horses I bet on lost. That is the truest story I will ever tell. And from that day on, I never made a bet when I was going golfing.
Yeah.
That was talking about superstition. Maggie and I were talking about superstitions on Thursday on the show. Never, ever, ever, if I go to a golf course, if I'm golfing, those twain do not meet anymore, my friend. 0 for 6, 6 for 6.
This sport finds new ways to humiliate you,
make you want to vomit.
Yeah.
Yes. That was one of them. That was about 20, that was over 20 years ago at this point, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
You must have a strong opinion on those 3.
I shot horrible. I shot hard. I shot like a 111. It was awful. It was just an awful experience. Yeah. Traffic from Staten Island took me 2.5 hours on the Staten Island. It was just awful. The whole thing was awful.
Yikes.
Never bet again when I was on a golf course. Horses, anyway.
I think you got to put that behind you and let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, he's
That's 2023. That could be one of your resolutions.
I carry a lot of baggage.
All right, should we get into it?
Yes.
First race, maiden special weight, 1-turn mile to kick off the card. Early pick 5, of course, starts here. You're going to go to Into Happiness, who obviously is a major player with the likes of who she has faced. Kathleen O came back and ran a good second for Shug. She was in the Kentucky Oaks earlier this year. She brought a perfect record into that race. Faced Tizzy in the Sky, who came back to win next start. What'd you like about her?
Yeah, I don't know what happened last time, and I don't love all the layoff lines. I did not prefer the favorite in here, Charging Lady number 6, so I wanted an alternative. She's just a horse. I don't want to say she causes her own trouble at the break, but she doesn't get away from there that cleanly. The one time she did was her second start. She went from 6.5 to a mile and 16th as a 2-year-old. She got run down by eventual Gazelle winner, Nostalgic.
I see her here. I mean, she got bumped to the break, which we showed you on the head-on here, and then, puts in a little bit of run in the stretch against decent company.
That's the problem, though, right, Greg? 3 of her 5 comments: bump break, bump start, bit slow to stride. She just doesn't get out of there cleanly. One of these days she's going to, and I think there's a nice little filly in there. Hopefully it's today. She hasn't faced a starter since September, but that's a problem too. Since November of last year, 13 months, this will be just her 4th start.
That race we showed you, that was January. Yeah, she didn't come back till September, and that was not one of her better races, so that's a concern.
She was 31-1. That was a little bit of a key race. Tizzy in the Sky, Signal from Noise, Inventing all came back to win. Tizzy in the Sky came back to. She didn't run that well in the Comely, but she did try Stakes Company off of the second win in that streak. I just a slight nod against a couple of slight nods against the favorite. But the horse you put on top was made a lot of sense too.
I wound up going to Mischief Motion in here. It's going to be just her 3rd start. It's just her 2nd start on dirt, and it's her 1st start on a fast track. She's going to stretch out. She went 6 furlongs in that first dirt start at Saratoga sloppy racetrack. To me, if you go back and you look at this race, it just looked like Louis Saez really wasn't urging her on because I don't think she was handling the track all that well. And he realized, look, she's not going to win this race anyway. Let's just get through it. And I think she gets the lead in this spot. That was a pretty tough spot, too. Can't Hurry Love, who won that race, came back with 2nd in the State Bred A other than. Funny How has won 3 in a row out of that race. But she's loose on the lead, likely with Jose Gomez. Gets a little weight on the stretch out with the lead. I think she could be tough when the blinkers come off. Yeah,
I would imagine she's on the front end. The filly to her outside, Agruda, would be the only horse that could probably keep up with her early, but she's just, it appears that she's much faster than her. So we'll see if Jose Gomez, who's kind of coming out of his slump a little bit, he's won a handful of races as of late, see if he can keep the positivity going.
Yeah, and you've got the Pletcher horse outside, 9-5. Like, yeah, had to make somebody a short price in here, but she did not look, beat 14 lengths.
I guess we have to talk about her. That's the magic number on her card. First time out, she got beat 14 lengths. Second time out, she got beat 14 lengths. Last time out, she got beat 14.25 lengths. I mean, she's 9-5 on the morning line. She'll probably be the favorite in here. But again, this was the kind of race where I wanted to take a couple of swings against the favorites. We used both of the same horses, just in inverted order.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that kicks off the card. Race 2, going to cut back. We're going to sprint 6 furlongs. 20 maiden claiming race in here for 2-year-old fillies. And 5, adverse order for us again.
Yeah.
Cookie Crumbs, logical favorite, Todd Pletcher, Kendra Carmouche.
The lone dirt race. She got beat a length and a quarter to 30 thou Kelvin.
There it is.
That's what we're going to take a look at here. Yeah, look, we got to make a pick in every race, right? And I'm certainly not giving you anything here, 6-5 over 5-2. I just feel like if this horse runs back to this race, she's going to win. And she'll be forward under Kendrick. I would imagine Bankbuster show some speed. The number 2, he'll just set up camp off of that one, and go from there. I mean, this is not a very fast. To say it's not a very fast, it's a slow race. But these fillies haven't done much running yet. She is cutting back. That's the one concern I think you have to have. Todd ran her in the 2-turn Saratoga turf race. She was supposed to run on the grass here around 2 turns. She ran back on the grass here around 2 turns. It's the middle of the winter. She's in for the 20,000. They only paid $75 for her. If she can sprint, she'll win. If she can't sprint, she'll get beat.
So I picked the early race replays in here. You picked that second half of the car, but I wish I actually showed the 7 in here instead of that race from the 5. Bella Michelle, because I went back and looked at it again. She had problems getting out of the gate. That last start, though, on dirt, she was dropping. She was favored. She actually lunged at the start, and then she got bumped out a little bit here. That cost her. But even worse than that, she was actually making a pretty strong move going around the turn, and then she got bumped even wider by the 5-horse Tap It Up, which completely did in her race. She had no chance in that race. Blinkers come off today. That trouble in that last start, I think, really is pointed. If you go back and look at it, especially into the turn and coming out of it. Major player here. And this, we've talked about this rider a lot, Jason Wyas. He has some talent. He's turning some heads early on. He's already won a couple of races. Very capable rider.
You'll see his numbers are kind of dirtied up. Just 5%. He was riding down in South Florida. I feel like he took the right path, though. He rode a lot of bad horses to get his reps and get his experience. And now you see when he's getting on some better stock up here, he's showing that he has some ability and some talent. I feel very confident when I bet on him. So, yeah, my biggest problem with her is lunge start, bump start, off half slow. She just doesn't – she always seems to have some sort of an issue at the break. We'll see if the blinker's coming off, a little bit more of an aggressive – and that's the other part too. Jose Gomez and Kendrick Carmouche have ridden her in the last 3 starts. You're not going to get more aggressive than that. As aggressive as this kid can be at times, she's had some aggressive riders. If she breaks, she'll be very tough.
She was putting in a really strong move in that race, too, before she got bumped. I don't like her a lot in that race, so we'll see. She's second choice. Looks like the 5 or 7.
Yeah, one of them should win.
All right, race 3. 6.5 furlongs. This starts a middle pick 4. Condition $25,000 claiming race.
We did it again.
6.5. We are not on the same page, are we? I went back and forth in here. Win for Gold. Look at that last race. It was a $50,000 starter allowance. We're going to show you this. The win, actually, 2 back. And sort of rushes up into the turn to challenge horses, and you actually see him take back a little bit.
And
then comes on to win again. This was a good effort from this horse.
It was a good effort against a hungry group of horses. Here's what he is, 71, 71, 71, 72.
And Johnny Brielle even mentions that you see him take up, and it was pretty dramatic.
That was last time. This is his win, no? This is the win. This is the other part of the Linda Rice entry coming into second. This was when he had a pretty easy go of it. And he just got the job done 2 back. Yeah, last time he did not have the cleanest trip.
Last time didn't break sharp.
In 6 days, too. Came back quickly.
I felt that last start, too, which was a tougher group. He was immediately behind the 8 ball because he was down on the inside, didn't break well, and you're done at that point.
Yeah.
I still thought he put in, if you look at that stretch, it was a better than looked 5th-place finish. He still put in a winning effort and battled in there with Hatch. Hatch was right on his outside into the stretch. Hatch wound up second in the race and was just kind of harassing him down the stretch. He still fought, and with the exception of the winner, Coffre, who was a length of 3/4 clear. Everyone with that other second bunch of horses, he was right in the mix.
Yeah, no, listen, there's no knocks. I mean, it's a bottom level claiming race, and he's going to be 4 to 5. That's the knock. There's no other knock on him really in here.
All right. The other horse, I thought Jake Rocks, obviously.
Yeah, his consistency is just a little bit better than Jake Rocks. Jake Rocks probably has the 2 representative races or 3 representative races that would win. If Jake Rocks runs his best race and Win for Gold runs his, Jake Rocks is going to win. But if you're going to go with consistency, it's Win for Gold. The other horse that I think you can't ignore is Eddie the Great. Now, Eddie the Great is clearly a better turf horse than dirt horse. And yes, he'll probably take some money based on his recent turf form, and that's it's a terrible reason to bet on a horse. But with that said, I think if you strip some of this horse's dirt races away, he didn't belong in that allowance race.
Too slow.
Yeah, he's too slow, or he's kind of rounding into form. And his last 2 races on turf make him a player. I just wonder how much money he takes. Jake Rocks doesn't win. Win for Gold does. Does he wind up taking some money as the second choice? You don't want him as a second choice, but if he's 4 to 1, maybe you can mess around with him a little bit.
Well, I mean, he's had opportunities on dirt. Even his win, that wouldn't come close to getting it done in here.
Since the layoff though, from June to September, just about 9 weeks, He's a different horse. He's a better horse. And he's only 3, so maybe he's improving. I don't know.
All right, so that starts the middle pick 4, pick 6 carryover. You gonna play today?
38-4-27. I'll peruse. I'll see what's going on. That the seventh race had 4 scratches. It makes it a little easier to navigate. The dollar obviously is the.
I didn't think so.
Been asking for been asking for the dollar pick 6 for years, and we finally were able to provide that for the fans. It makes it a little easier, but it's not an easy sequence today.
No, it's tough. So it starts here. 25,000 starter allowance, 7/8 of a mile. Wow, Spooky Road, who's 9 to 5 in the morning line. This is gonna be the 4th start in 30 days. We saw Linda Rice win with that comebacker, Betsy Blue, 7 days time. It's worked for this horse. Came back in 6 days' time, won. Came back in 8 days' time, won. Now it's going to start again. Might be at the end of the tank today.
Yeah, you know,
it's a lot of work.
When you're gambling, they teach you not to bet against streaks. You bet with streaks. That's what I do anyway. I'll say this. You have an alternative?
I do. I like the 5.
Okay. See, I couldn't find an alternative. And I think you went to the obvious alternative. You went to the favorite, in fact. I'm sorry.
No, it's
the third choice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it said 7 to 5. And she got in good form, Easy to Bless did. And it's funny because we were talking about Eddie Barker. Eddie Barker said this to me one time, and a lot of trainers subscribe to this theory, but when these horses, you know, she's a former claimer, Easy to Bless, when these horses go to the bench in good form, it's usually not a good thing. And I'd rather the horse, and this is just a preference, I'd rather the horse in form now than the horse that went to the bench in form. But it's just a preference. You're going to get a better price on your filly today. She's probably, she's kept much better company. I'll let you talk about it. I don't know why I'm rambling about your top.
No, I'm interested to hear what you had to say. Look, she's coming obviously out of an incredibly tougher race than anybody in this field. Mm-hmm. That was Bella Sophia, obligatory, glass ceiling. She had no chance in that race. She stumbled out of the gate, broke outwards as well, was 4 wide early. Here it is. I mean, you're done against this group, against Bella Sophia.
Yeah, done.
No chance. And then Jackie Davis kind of rushed her up a little bit and put her in contention into the race and tried to do what she could to be competitive. She was done at that point against this group. I can't tell you how much easier the competition is she's going to deal with today. She's tactical. She likes to be forward. And she's been first or second in 14 of her 21 starts. She shows up.
You take 3 of the and that extra heat's really a starter stakes race. If you take the three actual stakes races off of her card, if you strip that off of her card, she's been off the board 1 time in her last 9. Yeah, model of consistency, and she loves it here at Aqueduct. She's 3 for 7 with a couple of seconds. She makes sense. I put her second. The way Spooky Road's going right now, you know, Linda's the type of trainer where when she will ride the wave. And, you know, I think Betsy Blue was a great example. Betsy Blue did some running in the Go for Wand last week. One of the only horses that made up any ground late in that card. But she saw, and especially before the scratches, that she was in a good spot as far as the pace went. Now, Betsy Blue exploded yesterday. Pace or no pace, Betsy Blue exploded yesterday.
Last to first. That stretch drive was incredible.
This filly is obviously in good form. I do wonder slightly about the cutback. Her best work has been at the mile. Now, she would have won both of those races at 7 furlongs, but it's not that easy. If it was that easy, everybody would make a whole lot more money, and we wouldn't need to sit up here. She would have won both of those races at 7. I say that fairly confidently, but you don't know that for sure because of the way the races unfold and such. I do wonder about that. Everybody who's had a Brett Calhoun, Mike Maker, now Linda, they've all made it their business to run this horse long. The one time she went short for Brett Calhoun was on the turf going 5.5, and she got to be 10 lengths. So that would be my only qualm with.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, squeezing the lemon dry. I mean, Linda knows obviously this filly better than anyone, and that's why she's, instead of working this horse, giving this horse an afternoon.
Oh, she's fit as a fiddle.
Yeah,
she's fit as a fiddle.
But at some point, does that catch up to you? We'll see. This will be the 11th start of the year, and again, 4th start in 30 days for Spooky Road. But obviously, she's going good right now.
Yeah, we're very good right now.
All right.
Pick 5 time.
Here we go. starts in race 5, 6.5 furlongs, New York bred, allowance optional claiming field. We have been inverse order on our top 2 every single race.
And now we're nowhere to be found with each other here.
All right, so what'd you like about Rebo's Valentine?
I thought Rebo's Valentine needed the first 2 races off the break. I don't like spinning on. I've tried her too many times for my liking. I thought Rebo's Valentine ran well enough on the 2 races in the slop and came back and finally got a fast track and finally ran a winning race. I think Ray Handel got her ready in a good way off those 2 races, kind of raced her into shape, and she's in good form now. She's 2 for 2 on fast tracks. Now, we're supposed to get some rain. When that rain comes has been up in the air. Some forecasts had it starting already. It hasn't rained a drop yet. Some forecasts have it coming as late as 4 o'clock, and we can get the card in. I don't think it's going to get to the point where by the 5th race you're going to have any kind of significant moisture in the racetrack. But, it's pretty clear that she's better without the wet track. So I would keep an eye on that. But the other thing is, with a horse like Spinning Yarn in the race, who I don't prefer, she's going to get a little pace to run at. So I went with Rebo's Valentine and Happy Sophia.
Okay, I probably should have put Rebo's Valentine somewhere in the mix. I tried to get cute. I threw in a big long shot curly girl who has some back ability, stakes winner at Finger Lakes in that 4 slot. But yeah, I wound up going to Spinning Yarn. I don't think there's going to be a ton. I think she's loose on the lead in this spot. She's gone. Can she go that far? Look, she's obviously talented. She's 7 for 11 lifetime. She actually was second in the stake at Saratoga against Officer Hutchie. Only beat a half length in that spot. She had to lead in the stretch. She has a lot of quality to her, and she went to the bench for a year. Came back, didn't run a race. Is she the same at all? We don't know. That was at Mountaineer. Comes back a few months later, lasts a little bit longer at Finger Lakes, but at least she's had now a race to build off of, I feel like, truly, and kind of get a little bit of fitness underneath her. And if she's anything close to what she used to be, alone on the lead, by herself, she's going to be tough in here.
She'll be loosey-goosey. She's gone. There's no way around that. I mean, she's flat out fast, and she caught a field of horses that don't really have much speed. So, I mean, I would imagine Rebo's Valentine will be sitting second to it. That's why I like Rebo's Valentine.
And Happy Sophia, you have second coming off that win. Mike Luzzy rides.
Yeah, I mean,
was torn about throwing her in.
I thought she ran well enough last time, and then 3 starts back against Cupid's Heart. Cupid's Heart better sprinting. The Viridia race is what it is, but she's been okay for the most part. 3 of her last 4 races have been pretty good. I wouldn't want her as the second choice at 3 to 1. Now, I would be stunned if Happy Sophia is a shorter price than Rebo's Valentine. Absolutely stunned. Cali Magic, David has on
Major
5
player.
to 2 on the morning line. The problem with her is her inconsistency. And she was the kind of horse that they ran her at a mile last year a few times, and it looked like the mile was out of her scope, and they cut her back to sprinting, and she didn't run that well in the first sprint back. She ran well in the first sprint back. She didn't run well in the second sprint. Then she won the 3rd time. And then after that win at Saratoga, the 2nd or 3rd day of the meet, her form's really tailed off. And then she runs that bang-up 2nd to Lilu, who came back to win. She's just so inconsistent.
Some of those Belmont and Aqueduct figures, too, are just complete outliers.
She's your
several horses.
She is your 5 to 2 morning line favorite, and I have to tell you this: I wouldn't want to have to be relying on her because she's too inconsistent. You don't know which one's going to show up. When the good one shows up, she'll be very tough. But
she's got a huge
doesn't always show up.
Drill, quickest to 91 in prep for this December 2nd. So we don't know how she earned it, but could be ready to roll.
Could be.
Having said that, I have her 3rd.
As do I.
Quick break.
Yeah.
Pick 4.
Pick 4. Late pick 4 when we come back.
All right, I'll be right back.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
And we are back.
Yes, we are.
Late pick 4 starts in race 6. It's a New York bred 40 maiden claiming sprint, 6 furlongs. I desperately wanted to pick the 11, who I'll talk about in a minute, but in the end I didn't have the guts to do it. I'll talk about that in a moment.
I couldn't understand my notes. Half to a couple of decent runners.
Yeah.
I struggled here. Color Commish drops in from maiden special weights and a stakes try at Finger Lakes to a tag, and Jackie Davis stays aboard. That was it. He's got Jack finish second, 2 back, one last time. I would like to see, and this horse showed a little bit more early speed in the slop last time. I'd like to see Jackie get a little bit more aggressive with this horse today. Because the one thing this race lacks, unless one of the firsters, there's not a lot of speed in here, Greg. Not a lot of speed in here at all. And I would like to see a little aggression with this horse today. I don't know if he has any speed, but he was close enough in his first and his third start that I'd like to see Jackie come out of there running today.
6-1, Color Commish. I'm going to start with the horse I actually picked second. So Zucarache, maybe that's how you say it, a 2-year-old son of race day for Chris Englehart. Half-brother to stakes-winning sprinter Sadie Lady, who was an 8-time winner, graded stakes placed. To Life is Great, graded stakes placed in the Bayshore, was second in the Winkfield to Morello. There's a big pedigree here with this horse. I do not, in the end, like the big gap. There's a big gap between the last 2 works, November 10th, and then we didn't see the horse work again until December 2nd, which to me is a little troubling. If not for that, I would have picked this horse on top.
Well, I'm going to say one thing to you, and keep this in mind, and I think this is a good – we don't know why this horse missed that time. Okay, but I'm gonna present this to you as that case, and I know we got to kind of move it along. But 13 days between works, 13 days between works. All right, 7 days, 11 days, 12 days, 10 days. He was never hitting the work tab every 6 or 7 days. And the fact that he started training at Belmont in mid-August leads me to believe he's just a little bit of a late developer. And Chris Englehart wasn't going to force it along. I'll tell you this, it's a good sign that he was at Belmont to begin with and not up at Finger Lakes getting ready for his debut.
Yeah, but 3-week gap is not a great sign.
It's not a great sign. But I would bet if somebody grabbed Chris Englehart right now and said, hey, I was just a late developer. It wouldn't bother.
If that's true, I'd probably give the horse a race.
If I liked him that much, and that's part of the reason I didn't pick him today. He has the pedigree. Yeah, he's in for the tag, but he's by race day. You're not thinking about a future where you're worried about winning some races with him. I would just keep that in mind. With that said, I did not pick him because I do think he'll probably need a race. If he's a little bit of a late developer and not hitting the work tab every 6-7 days, I would imagine he's going to need a race today.
In the end, I wound up going to the 4 Fire King. Wow, no Fire King for you at all.
I do not ordinarily take horses from Christophe Clement, regardless of who they go to.
Cameo, first with Cameo in that barn, 31%. Horse drops from straight maiden special Finger Lakes, where he was actually favored in that race, where he put blinkers on. Now they come off. New gelding. Horse who was second in that race came back to win next time out with an improved buyer by 8 points. This horse I think is going to be tough in this spot and probably won't get 4-1.
Okay.
And both are against the Clement, huh?
Yeah, this horse didn't do a stitch of running the other day, on a muddy track, and he's going to try a fast track for the first time, and he's going to drop down. He gets Manny Franco back. I put him third out of respect to Christophe and the fact that there's not much in here, and if Manny's aggressive, Manny could be forward in a race that's void of speed.
All right, race 7. How are we doing time-wise?
We could pick it up a little bit. We could try and come home in like 36.
Mile and an eighth here, 25,000 starter allowance. I thought this was one of the great wagering races of the entire meet to this point.
Wow.
Still, there's a ton of scratches. Still pretty good. I thought it was really competitive. And you see, we're all over the place, basically. I don't even have the 2 in my – you're going with a price here, huh?
Yeah.
What'd you like about Healing?
I'm hoping there's a little moisture. This horse's better races have some moisture in it. When I picked him, there was a lot more speed in this race. Uno's out. There's a Storms Bruin has come out. But I'm not the kind of guy that's going to change my picks anyway. I'm certainly not going to rip a 12-1 shot from the first spot because we lost some speed. He's a 9 furlong horse, I believe. I think he might even want some more ground. And like I said, if we get a little rain, I think he could be potent at a price. So I went with Healing at a big price.
All right, I took Outlier coming out of the Cigar Mile. I mean, he was on the lead, setting the pace in that race.
He ran well.
He ran really well against Mind Control and Get Her Number and White Abario. White Abario actually ran really good in that race, too. I'm excited to see him next year. Before that, missed by a head in an allowance race at Charlestown against No Salt. I thought he actually ran the better race that day. He got bumped a little bit. He got forced out as well late in the race. He can tactically be close from that inside post. And Norm Cash, just about every single horse he brings here, they run.
He prefers Lynn.
He does, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Just about every horse he brings here has been running.
Yeah. This horse ran. Look, he probably got helped by the racetrack a little bit. It was more of a forward track. But he only got, it's not like he just faded from the scene. He got beat 6 lengths in the Cigar Mile. Coming back quick, asking to stretch out. His lone race at the distance he won. The bulk of his career has been spent around 2 turns. So, yeah, I mean, you want to try him, you can try him. I thought Rough Sea was a little in. What are we looking at here? I sent this in. Who did I send in? I sent in No Salt and Outlier, right? Yeah. We don't have the sheet here.
So this is November 12th.
Yeah, this is November 12th. This is No Salt and Outlier.
No Salt's win over Outlier.
Yeah. With the old boy Chris and Dave settling for third. This is No Salt. No Salt's won 2 in a row, 4 of his last 6. For Mike Maselli, one of them was in Scott Volk's name when Mike was serving some days. If you were to anoint a horse to beat in here, I would guess it's him. I'm not big on that, but he has enough versatility. He's won at Monmouth, at Parks, at Aqueduct.
What are you saying?
2
A horse
turn.
to what?
If you were to anoint who's the horse to beat in here, I would imagine it's him. But it's a tough race to kind of do that. How about Outlier, by the way, making his 21st start of the season?
It's incredible.
I was looking at the harness eye for a minute last night.
I don't think there's too many who've come close to that, are there? We both, by the way, have the 10 in there. You have him 4th, I have him 3rd. I think he's interesting, too. And not going to be strung that far outside with all these scratches in here. This horse has a huge effort at 1.1 miles at Saratoga this summer.
He really
that's
does.
Off the charts.
Yeah, he does. He's dangerous. We'll see if Jason Wyas keeps him close for Oscar Barrera III.
All right, race 8, 6 furlong sprint, New York bred, first allowance condition in this spot. We both go to the 5 in here. Today's flavor, if he repeats what he did last start, this race is over.
I thought it was that simple.
About 20 lengths faster than he ever has in his career in this race on November 27th. Easily got to the lead, easily did it gate to wire the entire way. Look, he was the favorite in this spot. It was a maiden win, but that was, even if he regresses a little bit, he's going to be tough.
Yeah, I actually made a mistake in here. I was supposed to write 5146. Guys, if you could change that to 5146, I'll change it on the website when we're finished here. Yeah, Zirkin comes in from Finger Lakes. The Institute comes in from Finger Lakes. Warrior's Revenge comes in from Finger Lakes. These are horses that are going to take money in here. They're 9-2, 4-1, and 4-1, respectively, on the morning line. This horse beat a first-time starter who was rumored to be a real good one, and my man Matty. Refua, who finished 3rd, was 2-1. I mean, you throw out the first New York race. All of his figs in Cali, and the fig last time was his best one yet. I mean, they're going to, they're enough to beat these horses. I understand this morning line. I don't agree with it. I feel like when all is said and done, today's flavor will be closer to 8-5 than 3-1, or 3-2 than 3-1, because people are going to see that the other 3 favorites are all Finger Lakes horses. And, they're
Some
not.
good ones, though. Warrior's Revenge has won 7 in a row.
I'm not saying they're not. But
Zircon's won 3 of 4. The Institute's won 4 of 6.
But they're Finger Lakes horses. They didn't have prior Naira form. It's all Finger Lakes. And this horse ran at Santa Anita, Del Mar, and Aqueduct. Like, this horse is going to be a considerable favorite in here. If you like the Finger, we have the Finger Lakes horses 2, 3, 4. I don't know where else you go locally. The rest of the local foreman here is not very good.
Yeah, the Institute, who I have second, you have third in here.
Yeah, I made a mistake.
Yeah, he's won 4 of his last 6. That last figure he earned, that was huge.
This is the lean for me. If you play a pick 6 today, and I don't think there are many leans. For me, this horse is a big lean. He's my single on everything today. And again, I mean, if I thought he was going to be 3-1, I'd be backing
I mean, look,
the CX5 up to Tom Lowe today.
We're all enticed by that race he ran last time out. He's beware of one-figure horses, and that's what he is at this point.
Today's flavor? Yeah. Absolutely not.
No,
he's the furthest thing from a one-figure horse there's ever been.
100% is. That was 20 lengths faster than he's ever run.
On whatever you use.
Multiple statistics of it's not even close.
These Bayer figs are exactly in line.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
That
was lights out better than he's ever run.
I'd be very. I would.
Thoroughgraph's 20 lengths faster than he's ever run.
I'd be very, very. I would be very careful with that. I'd be very. This horse. The only time this horse run a bad race is when he literally stayed in the starting.
No,
gate.
he's run well, but that was next level. But I'm just saying,
I'll take my chance. I'll take my. And with all the layoffs coming back in 2 weeks, phenomenal sign. Phenomenal sign.
Or it could be a concern.
George and Blair Golan got the horse going in the right direction. Yeah, it could. I mean, it could. But I think the indication that this horse didn't really.
I picked him, but coming off the performance of your life, coming back in 14 days.
I think he's a cinch. I think he's running. No offense to him, he's running against three-finger Lakes
I'm excited to see him. I hope we see a huge performance from him today. I think he's one of the most exciting horses on the card today.
I think we will. I do. I think we will. I almost forgot he was running.
All right, and so behind him, Zircon's your second?
Yeah, I mean, you could literally put those 3 in a bingo drum and just spit one of them out. You could. They run. I mean, I guess the Institute would get. And again, I made the mistake when I wrote the number. I got to fix it on the website. You're not leaving Linda Rice horses out right now. And I know she doesn't have this horse. I can't imagine she has this horse a long time. This horse just ran. Yeah, I mean, so.
I think the horse got so good, they said we want to go for some bigger purses.
She breezed him. Finger Lakes closed, and they shipped the horse down. She breezed him. She got a breeze into him December 6th.
He's the one, I think, underneath. I mean, he's just run bigger numbers than anyone, even though you got some impressive win streaks from these horses.
Yeah.
But, yeah, look, these horses that come in with these impressive streaks, it's going to be a fun race. Zircon, the Institute, and, for that matter, Warriors Revenge, 7 in a row for that horse. It'll be fun to see if they can give this horse a challenge at all.
Yeah. We'll find out.
But do you think Warriors Revenge? Here's the big question with him. Like today's flavor.
I think today's flavor is going to win off the screen.
No, I understand that. He got the lead pretty easy last start, though. Does Warriors Revenge?
It's hard to. It's hard for me to
pressure on him.
It's hard for me to. Well, Warriors Revenge might be a little faster than him.
So you think he's not going to do it how he did it last time, today's flavor?
Warriors Revenge might be a little faster than him. But the races in California, well, yes, he did get beat. He was able to sit off the pace. And
sit off the pace and lose.
It's Eric Cancel on Warriors Revenge. So I'm sure today's flavor will be in front.
Okay. I'm excited for it. That's going to be a fun race.
Yeah.
Close it out, race 9, 6.5 furlongs, New York bred, 25 maiden claiming. And the 10 for you. 8 in Sand. Michelle Giangiulio takes over. Kendrick Carmouche aboard. 3rd at this level last start. Behind a horse I like a lot today, who I'll get to, the 5.
Okay, yeah. Kendrick replacing the injured Trevor McCarthy. First time for Michelle Giangiulio on 8 in Sand, who, I don't know, I kind of felt like he just ran the best race. I'm not looking to attack anybody. It's very hard to bet the rider on the 5. Very hard to bet the rider on the 5. And if there was a different rider on the 5, I probably would have picked the 5 like you did. You're a little braver than me in this instance. But to me, 8 in Sand did a lot of running in the last race. Probably as much as Chief Engineer did. And I'm going to take Kendrick over that rider. And I'll tell you what, I don't know Russell Cash. He's one of the most loyal people I've ever seen from afar.
I don't think, to me, rider doesn't mean a whole lot on this horse because this horse, all he has to do is go to the front. This horse gets the lead in this race. He's gone. He's the quickest horse in the race. I don't even think anyone pressures him in here. He drops out of that 40 race. It was in the slop. Potentially didn't handle that race. He gets easier today. He ran the one thing that concerns me, that huge kind of standalone figure 2 back where he ran huge on the circuit for this level, where he ran big. He hasn't really come close to that in 17 starts. I know he's run 8 times on turf too.
He didn't run.
He's got turf speed though. He's going to be in front. You look at who he's faced. He's faced straight maidens at Monmouth on the dirt, and he had the lead against a horse who came back and won with an 80 buyer in his next start. Another horse he faced in the straight maiden race came back with second and 50,000 starter allowance. He's battled and had a lead and hung in there against some very good horses for this level. I think he's going to be tough in here. And this rider, the job, just get to the front.
Wasn't that his job the last 2 times?
Well, he's going to be alone this time, and I think he can finish against this group.
Okay.
He almost finished last
I wish
start.
you good fortune in the wars to come, my friend.
What would Sinful Dancer be in here?
Short. Listen, they hit the wire. The 3 of them hit the wire together.
See what happens.
We got to hustle through the promos. Johnny I's gonna get mad.
Sorry. Let's remind everyone again to sign up, started, play this Pick 6 carryover.
You know what? Forget about Johnny I. He's leaving us. What does it even matter? It doesn't matter. Johnny I's leaving.
What's he gonna do?
$200
deposit match. By the way, he's gonna be on the show next week.
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Talking horses, Johnny I and the Big A next Saturday. Can't wait.
$200 deposit match sign-up bonus. Promo code's match200. Go to NYRABets.com. Get signed up. Play all the action, including today's Pick 6 carryover. Pick 6 begins with that number, 38,427 in today's 4th. Talked about you have at least one single. I know that.
Yeah, it's all about today's flavor. Today's flavor is win. That sucked.
Middle pick 4 begins in race number 3. With that 6.5 furlong sprint, we'll see a win for Gold. Can get it done for Linda Rice and Kendra Carmouche. And I will be playing this race 3 that hit that trifecta. You got to opt in, and there's a $3,000 pot of cash to split with everyone who hits it.
Pot of gold. Yeah, there you go. Cash money. That's not points, folks. That's cash money.
I love these promos. So don't forget to opt in, take advantage of it.
That's what Wu-Tang said. Cash rules everything around me. Couldn't get the money.
Truer words never been spoken. Our coverage, America's Day of the Races, begins 2:30 Eastern today on FS1, and then that goes through 4:30. Then we pick it up 4:30 over on FS2.
It's been fun this year, my man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Have a great
Finish up strong.
holidays.
You too.
Who's the best horse on your tie?
They're all the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the tonalist club. I'm trying to find the navy and red. Can't
Good
find
luck in the Pick 6, the Pick 5, whatever you're playing today. To everybody out there as well, have a great holidays. Hope you join me for my last program of the year, and I'll see everybody after today in the new year.
All right. Head up to John Imbrial. Don't worry, I'm done for the day. He has the reprise of the scratches and changes for the Sunday card. Best of luck today, folks.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Hello once again, racing fans, and welcome to Aqueduct. It's a cloudy Sunday here at the Big A with the temperature in the 40s. The main track is fast, and we have a Pick 6 carryover of more than $38,000. Right now, we'll take a look at the changes for today's 9-race card. And no changes to report in today's first race, and no changes in the second. We go ahead to the 3rd race, and in the 3rd race, scratch number 2, Charger. Scratch number 2, Charger, out of the 3rd. Race 4 will start that Pick 6, and no changes in the 4th. Nothing to report in race 5. We have a rider change in the 6th race. Number 6, In My Shadow, will now be ridden by Omar Hernandez Moreno. Omar Hernandez Moreno on number 6, In My Shadow, in race 6. In today's 7th race, these scratches: scratch 4, Uno; 6, There is a Storm Brewing; 7, Famished; and 8, A Matter of Time. Scratch 4, 6, 7, and 8 out of race 7. In today's 8th race, we now have 3 jockey changes. Number 6, Warrior's Revenge, the rider Eric Consell. Consell is on the 6. Number 7, Constant Night, the rider is Madison Alver. Matty Alver on the 7, Constant Night. And number 10, My Last Mission, will be ridden by Romero Mirage. Romero Mirage on number 10, My Last Mission. In the 9th race, note that number 2, Hereby, should be listed as a gelding. The main track is fast. The pick 6 carryover is $38,427. The Sunday opener at Aqueduct in 25 minutes at 12:20.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.